Hello everyone, I'm Calvin. Welcome to another episode of Kampong Boy Fishing. So in this second video, I think I'm gonna introduce myself first because I actually totally forgot about this during my first video. So in my first video, I just jumped straight into the fishing and showing you guys how to actually go catch fish. So I think I'll take this opportunity in my second video to actually introduce myself. So for those who know me, I'm known as I'm Calvin. Then you all know that I fish a lot with Ryan, otherwise known as Tio Fishing. So we have known each other for more than 8 years now. I think even 10 years, but I think we fished together for more than 8 years now. So how we actually got to know each other is actually through same common interest. We both are very passionate anglers, and from that time I think we wanted to try out saltwater more because there's so much to unpack, so much to discover. So that's actually how we met each other, through fishing. Then we explored saltwater fishing, luring together. Then from then, we enjoyed each other's company. Then we started to aim different fishes, and along the way, actually from this past 8 to 10 years, I think we learn a lot. I mean, we lose a lot, but we also learn a lot. So the reason also why I actually started this channel is actually to showcase to you guys the fishing that we actually do in Singapore. So I think many people out there has this even the people here, Singapore, they would think that Singapore no Fishon nah. But actually that's not true. The other side of Singapore fishing is, it's actually, if you know, right? It's actually quite amazing. There are monster fishes here to be caught. There are rare fishes here to be caught. And I think in a small island, right, I think our resource is really, we have a lot of resources. Like, we can do freshwater fishing for pickled bass, giant snakeheads. Then on the other hand, if you go to saltwater, you have your barramundi, you have your grouper fishing, you have your GTs, pelagics, and so on. So I think for me, I feel very blessed just being here. Even though the only challenge here is that fishing grounds are limited. Legal fishing grounds are limited. So, but apart from that, I think fishing here is, for me, it's pretty fantastic lah. Of course, it's not so easy, but it's because of the challenge. For me myself, I like to take on challenges as well. So that's why me and Ryan have been fishing for so many years already. So I think actually it helps us keep this passion alive lah, because of the challenges. So there's always another step. Once you recognize that there are challenges, you'll find ways to solve it and or mitigate it. So I think it keeps our passion alive lah. So the reason why I wanted to start my own YouTube channel is actually also to share maybe possible methods, or share you experiences that I go through that can help local anglers, or even people who anglers who visit Singapore, try out, give Singapore fishing a try. So I think it will surprise you. Definitely. I mean, over the years, Ryan and myself, we caught a lot of fishes. I think different fishes, even big ones, rare ones even. So I hope with this channel, I can bring, I can showcase the best side of Singapore fishing to you guys, and also share some experiences and also tips and tricks how you go about hunting certain fishes. Okay, so now I'm done with the introduction, right? So I'll move on to the next part. So in this second video, okay, the main content is actually I want to showcase some footages of me doing offshore fishing and also kayak fishing. So I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks. 2 weekends, I spent doing boat fishing and kayak fishing. So I wish to showcase some footages to share with you my experience, and also I think if you all stay tuned more, right, you all can see me losing my precious setup, which is the Shimano Calcutta Conquest 201. It's relatively new, and also my boat Voyage. I lost the setup to a fish while doing kayak fishing recently. So if you all stay up more, you all can know, can find out why actually how I go about actually losing this expensive setup. It's about perhaps $800. Yeah, gone down into the sea. So yeah, stay tuned and find out more later in the footage below. Okay.
Ê, gì vậy? Tích 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 tích. Tích hot chưa? Fuck, miss. Big big big. The tích hot, I think mangrove jack. Tích hot chưa? Ê. Ê. Gì vậy? Tích 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 tích. Tích hot chưa? Fuck, miss. Ui, wow. Mangrove jack. Mangrove jack, mangrove jack.
Finally.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. That's my boga. Yeah. Thanks, bro. And
MJ, bro.
you. The big hut, sir?
Yeah. Why your phone out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Just pull up.
Yeah. Casting. Casting. Yo. Mangrove jack. Mangrove jack.
Ringan sia.
Sigai. Wow, sia.
Ini isi oh. Saya tahu itu.
You want cast first? You cast first ah?
Ya.
Yeah, see you. Hey, thanks bro. Small one ah. Oh fuck. My rod dropped. Big one. 多高. Fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. My rod dropped. Big one. 多高.
I watched the video. My heart is so pain, man. Pocket also pain, okay? But what's done is done, right? There's nothing I can do about it. I already lost a setup. I can never find it back again. Even if I do find it back again, I won't be able to use that setup. So what's done is done. What I can do next time is actually to learn from my mistake. So I'm gonna share with you why and how about I actually lost that setup. Okay, first of all, I just started fishing on a kayak. That I lost it actually during the first part of my kayak fishing. So in the morning I started out, we launched at Kapak 7 Changi. Then we started covering ground, just the breakers nearby. I was fishing from a kayak, I was casting along the breakers. I forgot that the way that you are fishing from a kayak and the way you are fishing from shore is different. So from shore, right, as you know, when you're doing fishing, you're standing firm to the ground. So the way you're holding your setup, right, you are always locked down, and you're holding a setup in a more stable manner. Okay, but whereas if you're fishing from a kayak or a kayak mainly, right, you're sitting down, your posture is sitting down, and actually for myself, I actually lock my drag too high. Okay, you can see from the video, I hit a very good fish towards the end of my retrieve. The lure was already coming back to me, just beneath my boat. I didn't expect a fish to take my lure. It took my lure at the most unexpected moment while I was sitting down. So I was holding my rod a bit higher, from a sitting down position. So from angle, the way the fish took, and also it was raining heavily that day, the fish took beneath my boat, went underneath my boat. So if you can see, I set my rod. Initially I did a slight set of the fish, but the fish continued dashing underneath my kayak. So I was in a very awkward angle or position. Okay, so I lost the setup. I lost the grip of the setup, and my setup ended up falling down in the water, and there was no way the setup immediately just disappeared before my very eyes. Because I think I was hooked on to I believe it's a grouper lah. I mean, after fishing so many years, you know how a grouper takes and so on. So it is really they're always caught off guard, always at the very last moment. So I lost that setup. There's nothing I can do about it anymore. But next time, when I'm doing kayak fishing, if I still do kayak fishing, I'm going to be more careful about it. I shouldn't set such a high drag like what I do from shore, because I know how much I can take from shore. Actually, when people say, wow, high drag, it's actually based on, it's not how much drag you actually set on your reel. I think personally, if you can have a reel that has 10 kg of drag, but can you as a person take that 10 kg of drag? So if that fish suddenly pulls, right, are you able to withstand that force? For me, I don't think so lah. So I think for myself, I think a reel with drag 5 to 6 kg, I think is relatively sufficient for most of my fishing. And if I'm doing kayak fishing, I should actually set it down lower so that I got leeway to play with. So I was using a very stiff rod. The fish took and ran underneath my boat. The leverage wasn't there and so on. The thing slipped. I was slippery hands under rainy weather. All the things combined, all odds were against me, and I lost my setup. So the only one thing I can reflect back, is to learn from this mistake, and next time, hopefully I don't make it again. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. So still painful. about what to do. Okay, so I'm sharing this with you guys. You know, it's a mistake that I admit. I also never expected this to happen to myself. You know, I'm actually also quite a confident person. You know, I don't lose fish that often also from shore. So I thought nothing happened to me, you know, like see I was wrong. So I was every time, you know, I'm being humbled by the fishing here. So one thing is, you know, stay humble, you know, always be willing to learn, you know, take setbacks. I think that's the key. Losing is not the final destination, you know. Having a good takeaway from that, I think is key, you know. Fishing is not a 1 day, 2 day thing. It's through this account experience you grow to become a better angler. Yeah, so I should try to move on. Even though I say move on, right? But really painful. This is really painful. Okay, so I shouldn't bore you guys with how emotional I am. Okay, so let's move on to see the other parts of the video of me catching fish actually. Okay, yeah.
Tiup. Tiup. So nice mangrove jack on the 11A. Okay, see, nice mangrove jack. Okay, oops. Huh? Thank you, bro. 我踩去你那里，我过来。Okay, nice mangrove jack on the crankbait. Yeah. Let's catch more. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, Calcutta.
Yeah.
Okay, so now moving on to tackle selection when it comes to offshore luring or kayak luring. So when you are doing offshore luring or kayak luring, right, I think the first thing you'll be fishing predominantly will be covering, you know, the breakwaters of our Singapore shores. So when you do this kind of breakwater fishing, right, the two common species that you are actually hunting for would be actually the groupers. Okay, the groupers, and second, the mangrove jacks. So these two are prolific species that you can find along the breakwaters of Singapore. So when you have these two species in mind, you know what kind of lures that you use for them. So for me, right, usually I'll use two things. Okay, one, soft plastic, two will be the crankbait. Okay, so why I choose these two, why I think that these two are more effective is because for me personally, I prefer to use a crankbait because a crankbait, as many of you will know, right, they are of floating nature. Okay, and also it allows you to cover deeper waters, you know, hit the bottom. And also one thing I prefer a crankbait over a soft plastic, right, is actually because of the like I said, the floating nature. Once it hits the bottom, right, you're able to let the lure float up. Okay, so it wouldn't drive straight into the snag. once you feel it touch the bottom, you know, you can give a pause and you float back up. So that is something it will be hard to control a soft plastic in that manner, because soft plastic is sinking, right? So I mean, if it touches the bottom, then you just hope that it doesn't get stuck in the crevices of the rocks and so on. So for crankbaits, you know, once it hit the bottom, you can actually allow it to float up, then, you know, continue your retrieve again. So the chances of snagging is actually much lesser. And also one other more important thing which I want to share with you is because when you use a crankbait actually kind of imitates the fleeing crustacean, like maybe a crab, because the knocking sound that it produces, right, when it hits the bottom, scraping the bottom, right, it creates this kind of sound like a fleeing crab or crustacean like shrimp. Okay, so this and many of y'all know that groupers' favorite food is actually crabs. So I've been using crankbaits for many years already, and the results of catching groupers or bottom fishes on crankbaits, right, is actually very high. So for me, you know, I would prefer to use crankbait over soft plastic. But not to say that you cannot use soft plastic. Soft plastic is still, you know, if you want a more natural presentation, actually their hit rate is very high as well, but you need to in terms of the technicalities when controlling a soft plastic, that would definitely be way more as compared to fishing a crankbait. Yeah, because of what I just said earlier. So yeah, of course, now we talk about lures, then after that, next we need to move on to what kind of tackle can be used to do this kind, to cast or to work this kind of lures. So for me, when you work deep divers, when you work heavier soft plastics, I'll generally use heavier rated rods. So at least, I mean, if you're playing a 3-meter crankbait or rubber of maybe 15 to 20 grams, I think I will recommend at least an MH rod. But for me myself, you know, when I go offshore fishing, I'll prefer to use deeper divers, because, you know, deeper divers allow me to comb deeper waters, because when you're fishing from boat, right, I think depends on where the cutter is parked, you know, sometimes the depth can be 4 to 5 meters or more. So you want to cover the effective strike zone of the fish, which is actually at the bottom. So I mean, if the terrain is 5 meters, definitely the more effective the strike zone would probably happen at the 4 to 5 meters mark. So you want your lures to be able to be hanging around at that water column. Okay, so for me also, I'll choose to use bigger crankbaits, because I mean, the places that I go, you know, on boat that I'm able to fish, right, are lesser pressured areas, because they are not accessed by foot. Fishing pressure is not so high, so fishes, they will respond well to bigger lures. Yeah, so then, okay, moving on, when I use this kind of bigger profile crankbaits, bigger profile lures, right, what kind of reel that I'll use. So if I do heavy rod, right, heavy rated rod or XH rod, I'll pair this with you know, a Conquest, a 201, you know, loaded with at least a 25 pound or 30 pound mainline, then with a 40 to 50 pound leader. Okay, so but if you're using slightly lighter outfit, then, you know, I'll recommend at least an MH gear. MH gear, you pair with maybe a Conquest, then load with a 20 pound line and a 30 to 40 pound leader. So this setup should be fine, you know, for aiming, you know, mangrove jacks, loopers, but depending on the size, right, that you hit, or the lures that you use, you know, you have to upsize or downsize accordingly to that situation. So for me and my buddies, right, when we go offshore fishing, we like to try different things. So let's say for me, I'm using crankbait, Ryan will be using like soft plastic or minnows and so on. So at least we know that what is hitting, what is having the most hits on that day, which kind of presentation, what kind of lures, what kind of water depth. So this allows us to, you know, improvise accordingly to match the hatch for that day itself, because you know that situation changed. What works for today might not work for tomorrow for the same place or for the same fish, for that matter of fact. Yeah. So it's quite important to, you know, trial and error. I mean, fishing is a lot of trial and error. You know, we don't know what works for that day itself. So that's why it's a lot of experimentation and see what works for that day. Okay? Yeah. Okay guys, so with this we come to the end of the episode today. So in this video, actually I covered offshore luring and kayak luring. So I also shown you guys how I actually end up losing my expensive setup to the sea. That's damn sad, man. I really need some time to recover from that. So apart from all the sad things, you know, I've shown you guys how do you do luring all from boat and also all from kayak, targeting mangrove jacks and groupers. So I hope you guys have some key takeaways from this video and hopefully don't make the same mistakes as I did. I mean, if you guys like this content, do give me a thumbs up and like, share and subscribe. So I see you guys in the next video, and hopefully I get to make more videos that are of good content and, you know, to you guys. So thank you and see you next time.